Hey guys, the Gundam Boy here today. Just before the video starts, I see you watching this video. I know you're a returning viewer, so why don't you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Anyways, did you just complete the first Warbond? Have 1,000 super credits you don't know what to do with? Then buy a Warbond! Your little brain ain't sure what to buy? Well, let me tell you what I would recommend so that you can get the best out of your precious super credits. So, if you already completed the starter Warbond, and if you didn't complete the first Warbond, then what are you doing? Shoot, go back and complete the rest of it before you come back. You have, way more weapons. But I will try to back my reasoning with logic. Because the louder I am, the more likely you are to. Some of the Warbonds we'll be looking at today is Steel Veterans, Cutting Edge, Democratic Detonation, Polar Patriots, Viper Commandos, Freedom's Flame, Chemical Agents, and the Truth Enforcers. Now, realistically, you can go in any direction to get whatever Warbond you want. But I will have to be honest, there are some Warbonds that feel more necessary than others. So, what would be our number one? I'd say it's Democratic Detonation, providing 4 great weapons like the Adjudicator, the Eruptor, and the Exploding Crossbow, and the Grenade Pistol, all solid weapons. And then we also get my favorite grenade that you use to recreate elementary school where you whack people with plant burrs. But these burrs burn and explode! Then we have the booster Expert Extract, which is good if you just really don't like being in the game. Help, my introvert battery is low and I want to go home and sleep. Though there is an unfortunate thing, and that is the fact that there is no new armor mods with this Warbond. But you do get a light armor variant of the engineering kit and some kick-ass designs. And if it wasn't clear already that all Warbonds have 300 super credits, they do. But why would I put this at first place? And I think it's because all the weapons in here are good against both bots and bugs. All 3 explosives can close bug holes in bot bases, and the Adjudicator is just a solid hitting AR. Pros about this Warbond is that it has some really solid weapons. The only con I can think about this Warbond is that it lacks a good passive. The next Warbond I'd recommend getting in our number 2 slot is Freedom's Flame. We got 3 weapons that are perfect for hunting bugs. We got the Cookout, a fire shotgun, the Torture, which is basically a primary flamethrower, and the Crisper, a pocket flamethrower. The armor also provides a nice defense against flame weapons and flame planets. No one wants to fight on those planets, so guess what? This armor will at least make it a little less painful to get hit by those tracking tornadoes. Though the booster is a goofy haha garbage that doesn't really help, the weapons and armor are perfect for bug divers. And I know you're gonna say, oh, but the Breaker Incendiaries and Steel Veterans. Yeah, I know it's in Steel Veterans, but guess what? You get 3 fire weapons instead of just 1 fire weapon. But I'd say this Warbond's perfect for new players, as this gives them another fighting option against bugs. So some of the pros for this is good armor, good weapons, and a good passive. Though the Warbond booster is kinda poo-poo. In slot number 3, we have Cutting Edge. Also having great weapons like the Sickle, the Punisher, the Blitzer, and the Dagger. The Sickle is a great auto rifle, the Punisher is great at killing Scout Striders and killing enemies by stunning them, and the Blitzer is a god tier bug weapon, while the Dagger is just great for when you run out of ammo. Also a god at popping Jet Brigade troops when they still existed. It also introduces the Stun Grenade, which is perfect to stop enemies in their tracks, as it can halt anything from a Hulk to a Charger. Great for denying enemies area while you gun them down. Localization Confusion is okay, it increases the cooldown they have on calling dropships and bug breaches, but I would say the armor mods are pretty niche. 95% arc damage reduction isn't really that great when you don't have too many things that do arc damage. And you know if you got hit by your teammate using one of those arc weapons, you would turn and gun them down like the dog they are. The pros about this Warbond is that it has good solid weapons, but it has a pretty armor mod, and the booster is pretty cool, I guess. Then you should get the Steel Veterans Warbond. It has guns like the Senator, the only heavy pen revolver in the game. The Liberator Concussive, a stun-lock monster. We have the Breaker Incendiary, the OG Bug Ripper, and the Jar Dominator, the medium pen hunter. All great guns, though the Liberator Concussive is probably the weakest one in the group. If you like to throw your stratagems without getting too close to the enemy, then Servo Assisted is probably the best armor passive for you. Great at throwing items and stratagems at far ranges. We have the Fire Grenade, which is great for coating the ground against bugs. We also have the booster Flexible Reinforcement Budget, which is good for people who die a lot. This Warbond has some pretty solid weapons, has a good armor passive. I think the only real things that are pretty weak from this Warbond is the Fire Grenade and the Liberated Concussive, and the booster is very situational. Like, what's the case that you are out of lives and everybody's still playing? Next, we got the Truth Enforcers. In number 5, as the guns and the armor passives and the boosters all are very useful. And who doesn't want to cosplay as their favorite Democratic officer, Mr. Silencer? 3 of the guns are carrying this decision. The Halt, the first dual ammo type shotgun, the Reprimand, a gun that hits like a truck, and the Loyalist, which is basically the pocket purifier. These guns are powerful, but require the skills of a battle-hardened diver to use. Dead Sprint is an alright armor mod that can help Helldivers run for their lives, even when stamina is exhausted. And Unflinching is perfect for those of you who aim down the sights a lot, trying to land your shots without getting gunned down in return. Also, sick armor designs.
But you said this was a pretty good Warbond. Why is it so far at the bottom of the list?
Well, my little breedable friend, let me tell you why. Whether you hate the Warbond or you love it, this thing is not made for people who are new to the game, as the recoil is monstrous on the Reprimand and the Halt shotgun can take some time to get used to using. And I don't trust anybody underneath the level 50 to try and use any plasma weapons. The amount of times I've watched them blow themselves up with a charged shot from the Purifier is comical. This Warbond requires the skill of battle-hardened divers, but I would say it is a solid Warbond to get later down the line. Next we have Polar Patriots, and I know, stop yelling at me, boo! Weirdly not the lowest on the list due to the variety of guns it has, we have the Polar Patriots. Initially being hot garbage and everybody would tell me to put this fucker at the bottom, and you wouldn't have to tell me, I'd do it myself, because at the start of this game, the guns were ass. But with recent updates, the guns are much better now. We have the Tenderizer, the only AR to have 2 different RPM settings as a primary weapon. The Pummeler, a stun-locking SMG that's eh. And then we have the Purifier, a gun that can kill just as good or even better than the Scorcher. Then we have the GOAT! The medium pen handgun, the Verdict! Anyways, then we have the impact nades, which you apply directly to the forehead of your enemies to let them on fire. Motivational shocks is good for dealing with bugs and their annoying slowdown effect, but then you have the armor passives, which is basically recycled abilities from other armors, though they look cool design-wise. But I'd say the pros of this Bond is that it has okay weapons, but it lacks a lot in the passives. And the Pummeler is just another gun, because I don't know why they keep making these slow stun guns. I'm really not a fan of them personally. Next we have Chemical Agents, lower on the list due to its lack of weaponry. We have the Chemical Agents Warbond. 2 cool armor designs with the armor passive of Advanced Filtration, reducing damage by 80% from the gas. And its first 2 Warbond stratagems in the game, the Dog Breath and the Sterilizer, which are kind of mid and very niche weapons. And it comes with gas grenades, which are awesome for disrupting hordes. And the only weapon, in quotation marks, is a stim gun, which is the medic's choice for on-the-go healing. We also have some cool patterns and armor designs, but it's low on the list for not really having too much offensive capabilities and very niche weaponry. I guess the best things to say that came out of this Warbond is the armor passive and the stim gun, but everything else is kind of eh. And finally, the thing that's at the bottom of the list in terms of what you should get. The bottom of the list is Viper Commandos, and it makes me sad, because the armors are really cool and the concept was great. For the armor, we have Liberator Carbine and the Bushwhacker, and then a Throwable, the Throwing Knife, and the armor passive is Peak Physique, which is great for melee and handling weapons. Then we have the Drug Booster Stim, is a game changer for engagements when you really need to heal. Though the armor and the booster is great, the weapons are underpowered and not as unique as the other Warbonds, and the armor looks absolutely badass, but the major problem is the amount of actual useful tools here. The Liberator Carbine is just a Liberator that shoots faster, and the Bushwhacker is a 3-shot shotgun that might take some more skill to use, so that's like, what, 1 out of few only good weapons? And the Throwing Knife is a niche and it needs its skill, so you really need to practice with this one. Having stims that make you run faster and take less damage is really cool. And then the armor passive, which is Peak Physique, which is great for handling weapons and melee, and the lack of creative and new weapons really holds this Warbond down. And that's my entire list. But do keep in mind this list doesn't say that one Bond is worse than the other. I just wanted to give an idea of what a new player should start with and start working up to get to. All the Warbonds offer something to the field, though some may need more practice or studying to understand, while others just kinda lack the sought after stats. But hopefully this video can help you guys figure out which Warbond you should buy with your hard-earned super credits. Or you could just use your back of your mom's credit card, they get all the Warbonds, but that's the easy way out now, isn't it? Alright, well, if you guys like what you saw today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hope to see you guys around. Let me know what I should do next for my next video. See you guys later.